hiding in the bushes now. Come on now, hit that like button, share and subscribe now. I know you peeping. Quit hiding in the bushes now. Come on now, hit that like button, share and subscribe now. I know you peeping. Quit hiding in the bushes now. Come on now, hit that like button, share. Hey, welcome to the home of Blaxktitanic. Hey, you guys, how are you guys doing? Grand Rising, everybody. Grand Rising, yes. Maritha Gray, girl, you've been hanging with me, ain't you? Oh, Maritha been hanging. Thank you, Maritha Gray. Grand Rising. Yes. Good morning, Miss BT. Pray you and your brother are doing well. Happy Sabbath to you, Miss Barbara Johnson Davis. Yes, Grand Rising. Nosy Rosa Graham. Hey. Grand Rising. Everyone in the chat. Hope everyone have a blessed day. Yes, everybody. Y'all have a blessed day today. Be blessed. Think positive. Be happy. Demita J. McCullough, Grand Rising to you as well. Barbara Johnson Davis, I just spoke to her. Well, Grand Rising to you again, Miss Barbara. Nosy Rosa Graham. Oh yeah, y'all, let me, I gotta say my, Miss Mary Kelly, before I forget. Grand Rising, Miss Mary Kelly. She says, God is good. God blesses and victorious morning chat and panel. Listen, y'all, I got to say house rules, right? Everything is allegedly, in my opinion, and my co-host and co-guest opinions, and as well. Everything for entertainment and educational purposes. And the music pop up. I don't own any copyright. Yes, you guys. How did you guys sleep last night? Did y'all do a good job of sleeping? Listen, you guys, bro is at the hospital. He's actually in the other room. So I'm happy I could just relax. I ain't got to get up and run up there to the hospital. I'd like to thank all of you guys for your support. I never did find out who that young lady was. I don't know how to check it. They sent me that $100 so I can go back and forth to the hospital because she put on there for parking, because that was why I was sometimes didn't want to leave, because you got to go every time you leave and come back, you got to pay the parking, and parking is kind of expensive. So thank you, young lady. You know who you are. You put on there parking. So thank you for that $100. Thank everybody, absolutely every last one of you for rocking with me, for your cash out, for believing in me. Thank you guys so much. And I almost got 9,000 subscribers. I can't believe that, you guys. I can't believe that means that some of you want to learn. Some of you not afraid. It may be foreign to your ear because you've been taught so long. We've been taught and brainwashed so long. So when we hear the truth, we probably know it's the truth. But a lot of us will say, well, that's what my grandmama taught me. That's what my grandfather taught me. But no. We have to deal with the facts, and we have to teach it to our children and the next generation so that they can be empowered, you guys. Yeah. Anyway, today I'll be talking about Martell Host. Now, I was just can't. He went over there to the Real Housewife of Atlanta and act a fool. Act a fool over there, but what they won't do, unlike the women's over there, they had Kenya Moore's back. Cause she said Martell had his hand all up in her face, y'all. Said this man was cussing at her. It was worse than what they showed us. She was on speak on it with a co-host. What's her name? Candy. And she got, the production had cut a lot. But when she told what that man was doing over there to her, he was violent. She said that man had it cussed her out on production set and said he had his hands all in her face. Yes, all in her face like this. That's why she started yelling back at him. Once a cheater, always a cheater. That's what we saw. But they didn't show that man going off on that girl. That man went over there and clowned so bad. But they didn't like it over there. You would never hear that on Love and Marriage Huntsville set. Y'all remember on the reunion when after they took that break and came back, we knew something had happened. We knew it. We knew something had happened because everybody was looking like they were scared. What's his name? Carlo was crying, Mel was crying, and the queen over there, queen breast, legs, and titties, whatever his name is. He was so scared he would hold on to his wife, not for protection, but for her to protect him. He was holding on to Tisha. He was scared as hell. Yeah, he had clown, but not one of them held him accountable. Nobody hold this man accountable on Love and Marriage Huntsville when he go off on that set, and they don't talk about it. They act like it never happened. And what they usually do is make Mel be the aggressor. And that's what I couldn't understand about Love and Marriage Huntsville. Every time they want to show something, they'll show Mel throwing that glass at Martell. Y'all notice that? Y'all notice that? They're trying to paint her off as being the aggressor when she really is the victim. And that's one of the things that Candace and Kenya said, that, oftentimes we make the ladies the victims. We flip it and say that they are the aggressor, and they don't like Martell over there. They don't like Martell, and as a matter of fact, their ratings went down because of him. Because we were all, you got most of the fans that watch Love and Marriage Huntsville watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. So what happened was that a lot of them tuned out. They didn't want to see no more of Martell. So anyway, it backfired on Bravo, and they are holding this man accountable. Now today we're going to talk about Kiki. Y'all know Kiki. She at it again, like her and Tisha at each other's throat. But I don't have no confidence in Kiki. To me, she just be bluffing, and maybe she just wants some attention and get some airtime, because every time I'm gonna tell it all. That's what she be saying. and then when they all get together, she back down. Yeah, she bagged down. One thing about Kiki that I didn't like, I remember the first season when it came on, and she and Tisha was sitting around. Tisha was talking about, you was addicted and you was stealing my pills and all that. And Kiki was apologizing to her because she said she want to move forward. But what she should have did, and what I would have did, I would have brought up your alleged drug charges. Kiki never brought up her criminal record. Kiki never brought up her drug charges. Never did. I don't know what was she doing, but she got caught with drugs. And she did not have a bond. They didn't give her a bond, y'all. No, they didn't give her a bond. So that's documented. I'm gonna say allegedly, but that's on that report. Kiki never brings that up, but she always say, "Well, yeah, you gonna talk about me. I'm gonna talk about you. I'm gonna tell it." And what she do, y'all? She back down. Now we're going to get into something a little bit more controversial. We're going to talk about the Olmec civilization. Y'all, I hope y'all heard about the Olmec civilization. We talked about, this is part two. This is part two. next part gonna be Juneteenth. I'm trying to give y'all a history of this country from way back from millions of years ago on up to lead up to Juneteenth, June 19th. And don't forget, June the 18th, Melody would be performing right here in Alabama, Athens, Alabama. She's gonna be honored. It's gonna be our festival. Now, bro is home. I wanna go cover it, y'all, but he got the he done had them seizures in his head. He's like a little kid running around. You gotta watch him like a little kid. So I want to go cover that festival and especially Mel. I want to cover her on that 18th, and hopefully maybe I get somebody to babysit bruh so I can run on down there to Athens and give y'all a live report while it's happening. Wouldn't that be fun? Give y'all a live report on Mel and the festival, the Juneteenth festival where she will be honoring. But I'm talking about the Olmec civilization. The Olmec civilization is done stunned the world, but it ain't stunned most black people. Because what they did was they were digging one day, right? And all these artifacts, giant colossal head, big as a mountain, big as a house, big as a bust, been molded. They found a whole new civilization, y'all, of black people, and they left their statues, they left everything behind. I don't know how that was hidden because they are amazed because in those days, that was BC, before Christ. Yeah, our DNA is older than Christ, than Jesus, you guys. We're older than Jesus. We're older than the Bible, right? So you guys just need to get that in your head. Get it in your head. Stay up on it. So you won't be offended because I'm telling you, because I'll be stepping on y'all toes because you guys been so indoctrinated about the man named Jesus. So you want to know, well, how can we be older than Jesus? But we are. That name, Jesus, better known as Cesare Borgia. Anyway, so they found this civilization, right? And they wondering, how is it that these heads, some of these heads is almost big as a house, an apartment. How did they travel with them? What mode of transportation did they get them back down to the city? Yeah, they have all these artifacts. So now, some of these scholars, now they look like me. I look like me. I be claiming that I'm from the Olmec tribe. Now, when y'all see a picture of them, they nose made just like mine. All they noses made just like mine. Big old round nose, big thick lips, big eyes. They look like me. African features like me, only they got male features. They trying to say that they everything except for black, y'all. That's what some of the scientists trying to say. Then you got some archaeologists are saying indeed this is a black civilization, but you got the other ones want to expel that myth because they want to say that they were the first one here, that Christopher Columbus discovered America. But how Christopher Columbus discovered America? If y'all go back and read that on Christopher Columbus, he said black people greeted him. That's what he said. His guide was black because he knew that we were expert navigators, right? We talked about how we are still in Africa, how Africa was called Pangaea. And when the city broke, when the landmass broke and drifted, you still had our ancestors on that land, y'all. So Christopher Columbus said that the first person he met was black people. Yeah, y'all read up on that. He didn't meet no red man, no white man, no nothing. That's who he met, and his guide was black. So I got to Christopher Columbus because it makes sense. The Olmec civilization will prove that we were already here. Hey, Nosy Rosa Graham and everybody, I'm finna get started so we can get started on today. Thank everybody from being here, all right? I'm gonna start off with Jesus. I gotta start off with him because that's part of our culture. Ain't nothing we can do without Jesus. Caesar Borgia. I'm trying to teach y'all on him. I'm not trying to step on nobody's religion. I'm not trying to change your religion. I'm just dealing strictly with facts. That's all I'm doing. All right, y'all? That's it. You can take it or you can leave it. But most of all, we need to teach our children. We need to empower our children. Just think how if we're gonna ever turn this system around to where we once ruled this earth. If we're going to ever rule again, we have to tell the truth to our children. They got to know that they once ruled this earth, that this earth belonged to them. And if we keep sugarcoating it and hiding it, and for the sake of hiding it, they won't ever feel empowered, right? All right, we're getting started. We're starting out with the Olmec civilization. We're starting out with who is Caesar Borgia, better known as Jesus. And I leave for you guys that y'all don't want to believe it. Hey, Denise. Hey, babe. Grandma baby on here. Hey, babe. My grandson on here. Y'all know that make me feel happy. All right, we're starting out with Caesar Borgia. Hey, Danique, babe. Grandma, see you. Thank you for being here. Danique Clark, y'all.
And subscribe. Remember, eagles flies with eagles. All right, now hit the like button, share, and subscribe. This is Arthur Alma, and remember, eagles fly with eagles.
Good evening, Grand Rising, everyone. It is 7 a.m. in my neck of the wood. But today we're going into the Olmec civilization, which is an ancient tribe found right here in the United States of America along the coast of Mexico. But before doing this, we have to go into this history of Jesus now. This is Caesar, I call him Caesar Borgia. They call him Cesare Borgia. This is the man you know as Jesus. Like I said, J was a new letter in the alphabet, right? J did not exist during that time or that area. But anyhow, I'm not here to argue with you guys about religion. I just got to state facts because when we go into the Olmec civilization, when you go into your history, you're older than the Bible. Your DNA, you predates the Bible. So I have to start with Caesar Borgia to give you guys some idea of how this came about. And when you praying to this man, when you praying to Jesus, this is who you praying. You is conquering up all these spirits of this man when you praying to that name Jesus.
Shalom and shalom, people. Cesare Borgia, some of you black people's favorite person in the world. Now this is where you get the image of white Jesus from. This man right here, he was the son of Pope Alexander VI, and Pope Alexander ordered Leonardo da Vinci to replace all the images of Christ to make it look like his son, Cesare Borgia, who had an incestuous relationship with his sister. He was a homosexual, a murderer, you name it, And that's the image, a lot of you black people worship. Got all up in your houses, on your bed frame, all up in the black church, big old Cesare Borgia, aka White Jesus. And you know what? I don't even have to go through the history of Cesare Borgia, because the Bible literally has it's a good description of Christ himself. So what we're going to do, we're going to put the images of Cesare Borgia, aka White Jesus, and then we're going to get the description of Christ in the Bible. And you tell me, do they match up? Very, very simple. So let's get it. This is Revelations 1:14, and it reads, his head and his hairs were white like wool. Now, before we get those smart asses coming in my comments, talking about saying, look, it says his head and his hairs were white. That means his head was white? No, when it's talking about his head, it's talking about his eyebrows and his facial hair. So don't come over here with that nonsense. So once again, his head and his hairs were white like wool. Does this man have white woolly hair? Please, you tell me. Come on, black people. Does this man have woolly hair? Obviously, that's a no. They didn't even get Christ's hair texture correctly. His hair texture, they couldn't even get correct. Yet you guys still think that this is the actual image of Hamashiach himself. Skipping down to 15, and his feet like unto fine brass. Let's see how dark this brass was. As if they burned in a furnace. So you see, quote unquote, Jesus was a dark-skinned man. And his actual name in the Paleo Hebrew, Yahawashai, not Jesus. The letter J didn't even come around until like the 15th century, but that's a video for another day. And you know what the crazy thing is? You will show black people this, and what's the first thing they will say, especially black Christians? Color doesn't matter. If color didn't matter, why did they change the image? And as I said, they didn't have to change anything because it actually has his description in the Bible. So why did they change it? And you have to understand too, just when our children see this, when you see little black girls, little black boys look up to this, when they see that quote unquote Jesus is a white man, that means they're going to think that God is a white man. And if God and Jesus is a quote unquote white man, that means the people of the Bible are going to be white men, right? So
that means that is who they think is more superior, more right. Now I'm gonna put up see why our children are picking the white race, because we teaches them that the most powerful man on earth, the most superhero on earth, is a white man by the name of Caesar Borgia, right? Jesus. Yeah, we teaches them that. He even more over their dad.
Is the pretty doll. Which doll is the nice doll? Which doll is the bad doll? Which doll is the nice doll? And which doll is the bad doll? And why is that doll pretty?
Because he's white and he has 2 eyes.
Which doll is the ugly doll? Why is that doll ugly?
Because he's black.
Which doll looks most like you?
Like me?
Yeah, which one looks like you?
That one.
Okay.
That doll.
So you see, we have to start early with our children. It's damaging to your children if you do not deprogram from this society. I do not allow mine when they little like that to play with no other race or doll but themselves. They can go outside and play with anybody they want to play with. But when they come in that house, that doll has to be black. You guys need to quit on this bird like, oh yeah, you're just a racist. Look at what it's doing to your children. Think about your children. You have to instill love and self-esteem into our children at an early age because this society is racist. This
Thank you for the
society is
super chat,
eating
Janice
them
Jacob.
up on the inside. And I blame that little girl's parents. That's who I blame. Because they not taught her self-love. Grand Rising, everyone. Yes, it's early in the morning, and I am up talking to you guys. So this morning we'll be getting into the Olmec civilization. Of course, the Olmec civilization is an ancient black civilization that was found right here in Mesoamerica. Evidence that your people has always been here. But let me just go over this outline. We went over Pangeo. About 200 million years ago, Earth didn't have 7 continents, but instead one massive supercontinent called Pangeo, which was surrounded by oceans. Pangeo at that time was Africa. It's a name for Africa 300 billion years ago. So what they're 300 million years ago. So what they call it a supercontinent, everything is over there in Africa. All the minerals, the gold, the rubies, anything you want is there in Africa. Power of the plate tectonic. The gigantic continent called Pangea slowly broke apart. As you can see, this is in the desert. I think this is Ethiopia, you guys. Yeah, it's breaking apart again. It started, they say, according to the researchers, it started in 2005. It would take another 5 to 10 million years before the split is complete. Now, it slowly broke apart and spread it out to form the continents we know today. The power of the plate tectonic, the gigantic continent called Pangeo, that is Africa. You can see today that it is doing it again. What's happening to the native? You see, the native. That is the same thing that happened over 300 million years ago when Pangeo, Africa broke apart and separated and drifted to what we call now the United States of America. You see that man right there, the native. They're still there on that land. So some of them would drift. Probably he won't be there, but his future generations, his grandkids, great grandkids, great grandkids will still be on this land as is drift. Likewise, with our ancestors, we were already here. When the land drifted from Africa 300 million years ago, our ancestors was part of their land. It was the native. And like I told y'all, you've been bamboozled. You've been got. You never left Africa. Anyway, the continent slowly broke apart and spread it out to form the continents we know today. Now, what I'm going into now is our ancestors that was part of that drift, which was the Olmec civilization. Now, scientists has tracked the Olmec civilization to the Dogon tribe in Mali. So that's what we're getting ready to study. You've been bamboozled. You've been got. You never left Africa. We have fossils, we have minerals, we have bones, we have rocks, we have everything to show that that drift that the United States that we know today is Africa. This is Blaxktitanic. Hit that like button, share, and subscribe. This is the Olmec civilization, proving that blacks was in America before Christopher Columbus. They have fossils and all kinds of artifacts to show that blacks was here, and even the artifacts predate the Bible, yes. But anyway, we are still here. Notice the military helmet and the back of the Olmec's head. Locks or braid. African has always been skilled navigators, and the notions that African beat the European to the New World meant that they were highly intelligent. So the big lie begins that Christopher Columbus discovered America. During the 1940s, evidence of an advanced black civilization exists thousands of years before the red man and Columbus discovered America. Archaeology discovered bones and sculptured images and artifacts. The word Olmec means Olmec, rubble people, and was part of Mesoamerican civilization, which thrived from 1200 to 400 BC, before Christ, you guys, and had a military, sophisticated penal system, and a booming economic base. They spoke Naha, and they were businessmen as they traveled along the coast, trading goods with others and developing agricultural crops. This is the Olmec civilization. Olmec, they were here before Christopher Columbus. We are still here. We are the Olmec civilization. We are still here. This is your Olmec civilization, black civilization from prehistoric times.
And Southeast Asian, as well as South Indian Negroes, as well as the Kong Bushmen, were the first people to migrate out of Africa after they developed a strong prehistoric culture. And
I'd just like to say that these giant heads, they were found all along the coast of Mexico throughout the Mesoamerica.
In Africa over 100,000 years ago. So over a period of 1,000 years, the original people in Asia were black African people. They were established in India for thousands of years before the Indo-Europeans arrived. Actually, anthropologists say they were Caucasians from the Altaic who mixed with India's original black Negro Australoid race, hence the term Indo-European. The challenges today is the task of rebuilding and expanding the Pan-African black race, including the black Asiatic race of Asia from South India to Samoa and Melanesia, due to problems that face blacks globally. While other groups are having a parasitic relationship with blacks where they use blacks to enrich and make themselves stronger, the time has come to help improve the lives of blacks globally and including Asia. Blacks in Asia from South India to Southeast Asia to New Caledonia are victims of a parasitic relationship with the other races who use, exploit, and contribute to black destruction as they have done for centuries. The attacks and destruction of black civilizations of India, and the Black Chain of China, as well as current attacks on blacks in West Papua and the attempt to exploit Africa's resources while contributing to strife and genocide in Africa to clear lands of Africans is another of the racist policies that have been used in Asia itself. Unity among blacks in Africa, Asia, the Americas, Europe, and elsewhere is vital and crucial. It begins with knowing who the Pan-African world is and the history of the Pan-African, Pan-Negro people in Africa, the Americas, Europe, and Asia. The rebuilding and numerical expansion.
So what we have here is this called the Olmec civilization. Indeed, we are still here. You are the Olmecs. We didn't go anywhere. Now, the Olmec civilization, like I said, was found all across Mesoamerica. These are heads. These are their fossils. They were military. They were a black, sophisticated civilization existing. Okay. So, black people were already living in America, Mexico, Central America. This is termed Mesoamerica. We are still here. The Olmec civilization thrived along Mexican coast, 1200 to 400 BCE, before Christ. It is organized. It developed the calendar and the writing system, you guys, by succeeding cultures like the Mayan and the Aztec. The Olmecs was traders that established connection with civilization across Mesoamerica. They were excellent stonemasons and sculptors, widely known for carving colossal heads out of huge boulders. Of these, 17 of these colossal heads have been found dating back to 3,000 years ago. The sculpture was unearthed in San Lorenzo and Levanta. Remember, this is along in Mexico. Sites located in modern-day Mexican states, Veracruz and Tabasco. San Lorenzo flourished on a large island by the river from 1200 to 900 BC. After its decline, it was replaced by Levanta. In 400 BCE, Levanta collapsed, took the whole civilization with it. What happened? What happened, y'all? What happened to our people? Scholars have theorized. Remember, theory is not facts now, because we're still here. Disease, war, famine, natural disaster, and relocation, among others. A theory is not facts. So what did they say this is? Human action combined with natural ecology ultimately cause its demise. I say different. I say we're still here. The Olmecs depend on limited agriculture's goods. Although healthy, these goods made the Olmecs vulnerable to climate change. There was also the possibility of internal strikes, rebellion from local tribes. But since records, even graves, have ever been uncovered, yes, they have. Beyond science, where did they go? They went underground.
Black women you've met have been uptight.
History of the African Olmecs, Black civilizations of America from prehistoric times. The truth about the ownership, settlement, and ancient civilizations of Black African Americans in the Americas before Columbus. Ancient Black African civilizations of Asia and the long legacy of maritime activities. The first people in India, China, Southeast Asia, Australia, Melanesia, Papua New Guinea, Philippines, Japan, and Indonesia were black Negro people of the African origins. In fact, blacks continue to exist in most of these places in large numbers, even though the media in some of these nations don't show the blacks living among them or who were chased to remote regions. The following nations still have large black Africoid populations. India. About 600 million people are of the Indo-Negroid people. About 300 million are black tribal, and about 300 million are black Dalits, untouchables, who are the direct descendants of the original black race of India and South Asia. India also has Negro people who were found to have the purest genes in Asia at an amount of 100% of a prehistoric African gene. The Negro of the Andaman Islands have been in India for over 60,000 years. India's black untouchables, or Dalits, have been among the most oppressed people on earth for over 3,000 years, say some writers. The tribals of India are also composed of a very large number of blacks of the Negro Australoid type, whose relatives still live in parts of Africa today and are related to the Anu ethnic groups such as the black Negro Anak, Anu, Tibu, and others. The Australian Aborigines are also related to the Anu group, who once lived in the Sahara, North Africa, and were also found all over Asia, the Americas, Europe, Australia, China, Southeast Asia, Japan in ancient times. Melanesia, Indonesia, Philippines still have a large number of black people of the African Negro type and the Negro Australoid type, both being of African origins. Australian Aboriginals and Southeast Asian Austrits are both related to African Negro people and were among the first people from Africa to migrate to the east. The Oceanic Negro, Papuan Melanesian, the Tasmanian, and
That's it, you guys. That's it. There's nowhere on this earth that you can go because you are a native of this earth. You were the first people here. Now, notice have y'all ever noticed that the United States always talking about deporting people, but they never talked about deporting African Americans. They can't. They know they can't because they know that we are native. They might deport the Haitians, the Jamaicans, those people that come over here from them islands or from Africa. But if you're African American, you have never heard them say they can deport you. Now they'll tell you, why don't you go back to Africa? That's what they'll tell you. But they cannot deport you. African American, born and raised here, your grandparents, and you go all the way back in the day through slavery, they cannot deport you. You never heard them talk about deporting African Americans. Y'all heard them about deporting other blacks that's not original from here, but never African Americans because they know your history. They know they can't deport you. This is your land. And they told you the slave trade backwards. We're going to get into that next. That slave trade going to be the third part because it's going to lead into June the 10th. But they told, people came over here from Africa, but it was not that many. Most of the people, as y'all can see, evidence that we were already here. We're talking about the Olmecs. That's our ancestors was already here. They enslaved the people that was already here, y'all. And most of them, they shipped them to Liberia because they did not want nobody to know that we were the native of this land. They always talk. And now let me tell y'all something. Y'all always hear that the red men, the Indians, are the native, but it's not true. We are. Now we embrace them, and we got along in peace with them. When they came over, we did. So I'm done with that. That's gonna be next week. But anyway, you guys, how y'all doing? How y'all like that lesson? Did y'all know about the Olmec civilization? Did y'all know that they found all these artifacts? They won't even teach it in school, you guys. Now they were sophisticated. They're trying to say that they weren't black, but honey, when you turn their head around, you saw them locks or braids or something. They had locks in their head, braids or what have you. They were black people. I don't know why the hell they trying to fool nobody. You could not fool nobody. Those were black people. I don't care how they try to twist it. Now they'll say, oh, well, they are an unknown race. Well, I'll tell you what they was. Y'all saw those people. Them were black people. And then when they talk about the Asiatic black people, we were over there in Asia too, you guys. Yeah, we were over there in Asia too. So let's get on to Love and Marriage Huntsville, y'all, okay? So we're going to do Love and Marriage Huntsville, and then y'all wait till after the ending of the Love and Marriage Huntsville, then y'all could come up. Let's see what y'all saying. Now, when they talk about Mesoamerica, they talk about all along the Gulf Coast of Mexico, California, Arizona, Texas, Central America, North America. They found all these artifacts all along the coast because the Olmecs, like the Olmecs, traded. They were businessmen. They rolled up and down the coast, trading goods. They were businessmen. They always called the rubber people because they're responsible for any rubber. Y'all put on them rubber gloves. That's what they're responsible for. The ball. They created the ball. They like to play ball games. And the mirror. When you look in the mirror, that mirror, Olmecs, yeah, that civilization, the one created the mirror. So we still using artifacts that they made, but we never knew. Rosie Graham said, thanks so much. I had no idea. Yeah, no idea right here in America. Go back and read it. You don't want to read, just go to YouTube and pull up the Olmec civilization. There's so much on them, you guys. Learn about the Olmec civilization. Show it to your children. Empower your children. Empower your children so that they can feel good about themselves. We were just not slaves on here. They had a military. They were so sophisticated to everybody would travel all across the world to come just to shop in their cities that they had built. Everybody shopped with them. They were a thriving civilization when you had Esau was still up there in that mountain somewhere. Esau was uncivilized. We were civilized. Yeah. All right. Hey, Sexy Mama at 60. How are you? Things of this nature should be taught in school, and especially during Black History. That's where we come in, y'all. We have to do it. Google. You know what? You don't even have to. Just whatever's on your mind, just Google it. Yeah. Yeah, just Google it. And I tell y'all about me, the hardest thing for me to give up was Jesus. I still call on Jesus a lot, y'all. But I know I'll be calling on Caesar Borgia, but it just been that indoctrinated into me so much. I am still spiritual. And what's going on is that the Euro have made us scared of our religion. Yeah, we're afraid of our religion, and we were afraid to even teach it. Because if you teach it, they were like, no, that's satanic. Anything about our religion, we say is satanic, which is not. It's a part of us. It's a part of who we are. And that's why our ancestors, they left everything in writing. They went writing in paper now. No, it's on them walls and them tombs. Yeah. So we have no excuse. No excuse not to know some things. So if you want to enhance your intelligence, just read, Google. Okay, I'm finna do Love and Marriage Huntsville, y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Thank y'all for being here with me. I appreciate y'all. Man, this gonna be about Kiki gonna be over here. I don't understand Kiki, y'all. One minute she mad, so mad, but when it come down to the real thing, would confront Tisha, and one she backs down, y'all. Now this first video y'all gonna see, y'all might have to listen. I got this off of Facebook. This man gonna bring 11-year-old child home to his wife. They've been married 13 years. She knew nothing about the 11-year-old, and he just suddenly brought this child home. He don't say what happened to his mistress. I just assume she got put in jail somewhere. But he don't understand why the wife don't want to accept this 11-year-old boy. All right, here you go, y'all. This is something else right here.
It is what it is. I'm not taking no child that's not mine that I didn't know about. You're not taking no child. We're married. I don't know this little boy. We married, bro. When did this happen? I want to get to know him. I'm trying to tell you, he's here now. I don't even know that's something I want to do. Why would I want to get to know a child? He 11. That little boy ain't gonna listen to me no way. Well, that's sad. 13 years. Something just went down. I had to get my son. It is what it is. Something he should discuss. No, this too soon. I don't think that. No, this ain't right. This ain't right. What's right about it? Everything ain't right. We've been together 13 years. Who is the mama, baby? Who is his mom? Who the mama? It doesn't matter. It does matter. This happened when we was together. We had our issues throughout these years. Yeah, but I need to know who the mama is. I never told you for a reason, though. What's the reason? You don't keep it down.
One of both of y'all.
We kids. I didn't want to mess up nothing. But
now, want to mess up, man.
You know, maybe 11. We got together 13 years ago. So what you did with is had a baby with somebody else? Oh, it ain't nothing like that. Oh, it's just like that. The boy is 11. Listen, we took a break, right? Yeah. All right, then. So things happened, and now he's here. The break was only for a week. So you mean to tell me that we took that break? That you ain't got somebody who was trying to tell you, but listen, so why didn't you tell me? I'm not taking no child in my home. I didn't tell you. Because I didn't want a child to born. That's not a good excuse. Okay, I don't take that. We here. Okay, and we here, and now you about to be gone. Oh, really? Very really. Yeah, we can cut. I mean, I don't want to do this. So you really go through a whole divorce.
Yeah, baby. Oh, my God. That poor
It's too much for me. It's too soon. It's too much. He's too old. It's too much. 11 years old. It's too much. And we 13 years in. And I'm just supposed to bring in some 11-year-old child. Yeah, we can work at it. You can be a stepmom. Can't you? Like I'm saying, like you married. I don't know if I can work at this. This ain't me. Ain't what you mean is what I'm gonna do. And I mean, all that to health and sickness, all that shit matter right now. I'm trying to tell you. No. Matter right now. This is the time they matter. Yeah, that's it, right? Now this.
I want to say, are you smarter than a fifth grader? This man, some through help. He's gonna throw those marriage vows on her. What about you out committing adultery with an 11-year-old child? 11 years he done hid this outside baby from them, from her. No, hell.
This is too much. Too much. I can't take it. I got children of my own. And you want me to bring in a child that's not mine, that's yours, that you kept from me? So you want to go with 13 years? Yeah, we gonna have to throw this away. This too much. It's not for me. You handle your son, do what you gotta do, do your man, all that. All that, but just do that. Do it without me. Do that without me. So that's it. You're not trying to discuss it no more. You ain't trying to figure out. He ain't got all the family. What the rest of the family? I'm his family. I'm his family. You my wife, right? Yeah, and we got our family. He not my family. I don't know this boy. I don't know nothing about this boy. So let me ask you something. You just been. How long you known that you had this son? Listen.
Since he was 11?
Listen.
You know him since the beginning?
Listen, we can talk
You know him
about
since the beginning?
camera all the way up.
I'm not turning off camera off nothing. I'm not turning off because my business. I'm gonna be looking at this.
So you saying, so all you saying is
I need this for the courts.
You rather us not, you know what I'm saying, continue this marriage because I have a son.
He's 11.
So what?
If you can keep alive for 11 years, then you lie about anything.
Talk about gaslighting.
That telling me is a lie.
You didn't ask me.
I don't have to ask you. We married, remember?
Wow. Listen, things happen, and I didn't feel like we were ready for all this. So it is what it is.
Who are you to tell me what I'm ready for?
Look how you acting now.
Exactly. So if you would have told me sooner, I might have not reacted in this way.
I might not react that way. How did it make sense?
What you mean how that makes sense? I would have known sooner while he was a child, and I would have like, oh, okay, this happened. I might be mad for a minute. It happened when we weren't together.
You're doing all this. You're 13 years in, you're doing all this. I brought my son home.
You brought an 11-year-old son home.
So he was better than me.
Wow. It might have been different. We wasn't together when it so-called happened. So it might have been. You don't know because you didn't ask. You kept it a secret.
But you, my son, he asked me. Do you understand?
Okay, well, and then like I said, handle that. I don't want no parts of it. I'm sorry, baby. You seem like you probably was sweet, baby, but I don't want no parts of it.
Wow.
Okay, I'm sorry what happened to your mama. But you foul. This is foul.
Yes, it is. Wow. I feel sorry for that little boy.
Y'all can go. And now I'm not. Y'all can go. You right.
My son home. You're going to 13 years.
13 years. We'll talk about it when we get to with the lawyers.
Why can't you be an adult about it?
I'm being an adult. This is an adult.
Wow.
I wasn't no adult about it.
Bye. No, you wild. You wild. You heard what I said.
I said, who you recording for, though?
For the court. Because we're going to get into the divorce. For the court. Thank you. Have a good day. Have a good day.
Anymore, you guys. One thing about over there at Bravo, they're not letting my child get away with his ish. I'm sorry, I didn't know. Talking about how he was so aggressive and had his hands all in her face.
Man is aggressive or this, that, and the other. Listen, I call a spade. At the end of the day, I really didn't care. I just didn't want the wrong message to be sent to Sheree. Mm-hmm. Like, I was hitting on him or I was DMing him. We all know in my history, it has gone very left with people lying on me. So I was like, nope, let me tell her. Let me be completely transparent because now I see that they are really like an item. It's not just some little fling. When it was a fling, I was like, oh, she don't care about that.
Right.
But now I'm like, oh, you care? I need to let you know in case he says something different from what I'm saying. I need to be transparent.
Which makes sense. And overall, I just feel like it went left for no reason because he could.
I was very nice. I was like, girl, it's no big deal. It just means he has good taste. If he was trying to hit on me, it just means he has good taste. I mean, Sheree's a beautiful woman. So I wouldn't be mad if I saw that, my man was trying to hit on me,
Of course you would. But no, but I was sitting there thinking overall, I just thought that was crazy that it went left so quick. And I didn't even
hostile,
I didn't understand why he was throwing the insults.
See, I bet you probably accepted everybody then. Go to right now.
Talking about me? And my thing is, I didn't accept it from you. And that's what you said too. Because I was like, listen, when I first said it to her, it was in private. I didn't say it in front of Sonya's party or a big group of girls. And I was just like, it's no big deal to me. It just means he has good taste. And if that was the case, if he was really trying to spark up some kind of conversation, it was a while ago. So it really isn't a big deal. You guys are happy, you're happy, fine. But I'm just not going to have drama coming back on me because I didn't tell you something. But he got real nasty real fast. Like he was cursing and that whole thing about Sonya and Sheree trying to create like this false narrative, like I don't like black men, or I'm trying to label black men as aggressive or this, that, and the other. Listen, I call a spade a spade. If it walks like a duck,
2 years ago, why are you talking about it?
Acts like a duck, cracks like a duck.
I'm not gonna apologize because what I said, I meant it.
It's a damn duck. Okay, if you are cursing at a woman, if you are taking your phone and putting it in her face, angry and doing it like that. That is aggressive behavior. I don't care if you're black, white, Asian. I don't care where you're from. That's aggressive behavior, man, woman, or child.
Okay. So and to be fair, she said that she felt like you were being aggressive when you walked over to him and you were saying what you were saying. So
he started it, right? He came at me first. So for me, I'm a woman. You have your man on your arm. Ty was there. Marietta had her man. Mostly every girl that was there had their man. Mm-hmm. But I'm getting into this kind of confrontational situation with someone being very angry at me.
Is yours?
Anger is the key word.
And you start cursing.
So if you were just talking crap, oh girl, ain't nobody telling you. That's not being aggressive. That's
let Soleil escape.
Girl, they said that it was worse.
Tickle your senses.
They cut a lot of. They said that man act a fool over there. Yeah, my kid went over there and act a fool all up in that girl's face. She said he had his hands all in her face, y'all. Almost about to mug her. Y'all go over there and watch and say,
that's not being aggressive. That's just you saying whatever you have to say. But if you're angry, you're yelling, you're shoving things in my face like this, you coming up, you walking away, you're angry, doing that multiple times, that is someone being aggressive. I don't care what they look like, what gender they are, or what race they are. That is the definition of it, okay? Whether he meant it or not, that is what it was. So don't sit here and try to gaslight me like I did something wrong. I defended myself, okay? Mm-hmm. You stood up, you were acting a fool, you insulted me, shoving things in my face, cursing at me, and then I'm just supposed to sit there and go, oh, no. Martell, don't say that to me.
Well, she called Martell.
I'm gonna meet that fire with fire. And I felt like it was even, again, when a woman is alone, mm-hmm. it's tricky, you know what I mean? So for me, I was just like, no, I dealt with a lot of that. Yes, of course, I know what it looks like. I've dated crazy eyes before, okay? I know what that looks like. Mm-hmm. That's why I can call it. Mm-hmm. And guess what? I'm not dating anyone like that anymore. I'm not going to marry anyone like that. Mm-hmm. So the difference between me and Sheree, I've dated dudes. I've dated dumb dudes before. I've seen that behavior, mm-hmm. and I learned from that. And so I was just hoping that Sheree can do the same thing. Like we're too old. We're at this big age. We don't need to be making these same mistakes. Learn, girl. This is what it looks like. Now you can deal with it. You can see it for what it is. You can let somebody show you who they are and you believe them or not.
Okay, so and this is not neither here nor there, but I'm just gonna ask this question because we are on reality TV and we know that when we date people or we bring people on the show who are not necessarily signed up for the show.
Yes.
Things that we say obviously can damage their mm-hmm. careers or whatever. So do you ever feel like a sense of, like, let's just say, for instance, if you felt that he was aggressive, that maybe I shouldn't say it because we got cameras watching and we know how that could turn into other things.
How about you don't act that way? Don't make me be responsible for your behavior, your bad behavior. That's don't right, put the blame on me. You're victimizing the victim.
That's right.
So you change your behavior, you apologize because, hey, everyone gets angry. Everybody can say something they don't necessarily mean or do something in the moment that they regret. We all have been there, mm-hmm. Myself included. Mm-hmm. But I would be the first to say, you know what, I went too far. I was being this way and I'm really sorry. Don't try to turn it around on the victim and weaponize my honesty and what I saw you do instead of just taking ownership for it.
That's right. This is
Kenya. So much, and that's why this time around I'm looking for this sign.
Yeah, truly. Mel said this is truly the revelation time. This is Kiki Jabbar. She's saying that it's coming from D.E. Nicole show. I'm not familiar with her, but she's doing a great job. But Kiki claimed that Tiffany put out the Crime Stopper. Tiffany put out the Crime Stopper video, and that she thought it was Wanda. That's here.
She said, I don't even know what kind of car you drive. Remember? I'm just finding that Tiffany is a liar all the way around. And I'm not the type of person who's going to sit back and take that and not call her on her BS. I call her BS.
And then she's like, but you didn't get this from me.
Right. So she.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, so she sent, certain bloggers this information about me, the whole Crime Stoppers thing. Mind you, again, I knew about this before it even came out. My husband and I and my lawyers, we knew about this before it even came out because we were making plans to do, to go into this legally, in which, it is a legal matter at this point. So now I find out, all this time I'm thinking that my aunt was responsible for leaking this information to where it became public. But no, it was Tiffany who was shopping this information around to different bloggers, asking them to pretty much put it out.
Blaming the bloggers.
I do have the receipts that proves that she is the one who is responsible for shopping this information around for different bloggers to be able to put out. And it's just like, why, Tiffany? I never done for you. I never came for you.
Okay, you guys, y'all go down there to the E. Nicole show. Go finish watching it there. From generational viewpoints, look like Kiki and T-shirts at each other's throat. But I just want to say one thing. We've been down this road before with Kiki. As soon as Tisha and Wanda confronts her, she backs down. We don't never get anything. But she is saying me being quiet and going along just to get along, oh, that has died. Exclamation points. You want the cold-hearted, ugly truth? I'm about to start telling it, she said. Blood does not make you family, ? Family has done worse thing to me. Sorry, y'all. This come from generational point of view. Sorry, girl. I don't want to take her stuff. Oh, that she got some nice stuff on here. Oh, Lord. Let me start all over again. Okay, let's start right here. Me being quiet and going along just to get along. Oh, that has died. You want the cold-hearted, ugly truth? I'm about to give it to you. I am going to start telling it. Blood does not make you family. Family has done worse things to me than anyone ever could. This comes from generation point of view, y'all. But then try to be a crybaby and play victim. Not anymore, she said. You won't lie on me anymore. You won't lie on me anymore. Man. The day that your ancestor was set free, but it was 2 years that they had been set free, you guys, before they found out about it. June 19th, right? As June the 10th. Not July the 4th now. We were still captured as prisoners July the 4th. So that's not your holiday. Your holiday is June the 10th, the day that our ancestors were set free. Now, it is a national holiday because President Biden has made it a federal holiday. Let's just take a look at this.
While hiding in the kitchen, Charlotte Brooks overheard a life-changing secret. At the age of 17, she'd been separated from her family and taken to Olmec Nealon's Texas plantation. There, she was made to do housework at the violent whims of her enslavers. On that fateful day, she learned that slavery had recently been abolished, but Nealon conspired to keep this a secret from those he enslaved. Hearing this, Brooks stepped out of her hiding spot, proclaimed her freedom, spread the news throughout the plantation, and ran. That night, she returned for her daughter, Tempe, and before Nealon's spiteful bullets could find them, they were gone for good.
This is your story about June 19th. Now, we will be having a Black History program on it. But anyway, Melody is performing June the 10th right here in Athens. Alabama. It's going to be a celebration. She's going to go on the stage to sing. So you guys look out for Melody. Upcoming, she's going to be the star of the program. June the 10th, Melody will be performing for the Black History Month. This is our true Black History Month. It should be June 19th. Michelle Black History Spotlight. She's in her feelings again. Y'all remember when Kiki was sitting at the table in Bessemer and the whole clan was in Bessemer and she threatened to expose Marceau, and he just started over talking her and yelling. Nothing was never followed up behind on that. Then on the stage, we come to find out that Marceau be looking at booty shots, booty texts. So, and this girl talking about my marriage, Melody trying to mess up my marriage. Your husband has no respect for you, young lady. Having naked women in his phone, God knows why he need them and what he be doing with them. And he's not only he's talking back to the ladies, or texting back to the ladies. His midday snack. But she claimed that that's not cheating. What else is it? We don't never get a follow-up on Marceau. Nothing. I remember when he was sitting in the car with Tisha, and she was crying. Said, is it true? Is it true? Were you in Atlanta with another lady? And he said, yeah. With somebody, he said, yeah. Come to find out, he was saying that he was in Atlanta with Chris. Chris come out and say, no, he was with his wife. He was in Atlanta a good hot minute and he left. He was not with him. But they never follow up on this man. Anyway, you guys, now there's more gossip going around now. Yeah, indeed. He and his makeup artist, who was recently arrested, are having a relationship. But Nikisha Jabasa, let me be clear. I couldn't care less about what kind of tea anyone has to gossip about. When I say I'm going to start talking, notice she said gonna. She didn't say she was. I'm referring to what people have done and do to me specifically. I'm not brushing anything under the rug anymore or allowing anyone to lie on me anymore. For example, I have some previous so-called family members who have stated they have done a lot for me. Truth is, they have not done ish for me, especially nothing that I haven't also done for them. This coming from Empress Radio, you guys. Yeah. She said, I haven't done for them. So the next time they say that, ask them what. And let's measure it up. I'm not being quiet anymore, and I don't care who likes us or who doesn't. I'm not going to be blamed for anything that's not my fault. Coming from Empress Radio, you guys. And you're not going to continue to lie on me and take it out on me. No, she said, I'm fed up. Blame your something making you look stupid. She said blame something, but anyway, Empress, just coming from Empress Radio. And then there's another one out where she accused Marceau of possibly messing around, allegedly. Yeah. Well, Kiki, we've been down this road with you before. You do not Thank you for the cash
You
out,
did not,
Adam.
you did not follow through.
No,
So y'all
Empress.
have to
Thank
go
you.
to Empress
Thank you for the
Radio if y'all want to see the rest of this.
Yeah, y'all. I need for y'all to make sure y'all come on up here. Y'all come on up here and talk to me. We already got who is this? Seceded. I can always count on Seceded to be my backbone. Yeah, but y'all come on up now. I'd like for y'all to come up and talk to me. Let me know that y'all here. That y'all let me know. Hey, Seceded.
Hi, honorable one.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good.
Listen at him. He
Let me
sounds
get rid of this. Let me
somebody
get rid of this, y'all.
I've already explained what's going on. He's
Let me
standing.
get rid of this. Sorry. Pop back up. I thought I had removed it.
Thank you so much for bringing us all of those gems you brought us. You know, it goes to show it's no way around reading. You know, as a culture, I think that we're not hard enough on each other for not reading. I'm a person, I don't go anywhere without a book. And I think that it's important for us. You know, our ancestors died because they tried to learn to read. Now we have all these resources, and what are we doing with them?
Let me stop. Our ancestors was always able to read and write. They just didn't know that language, right? So I just I just want to say that.
Yes. Okay.
They
Yeah, I'll say that. Yes, absolutely.
they didn't
You're
know that
correct.
language because they were very intelligent. They knew how to read now, but not
Yes.
that
Not
English.
that English. So they
Mhm.
died trying to learn that language in the new environment that they were brought in.
Right.
To make a correction, absolutely.
Mhm.
Yes. And so they died trying to learn this language. Like, you're going to force us into this environment. You're going to force us, here. So now we don't know what you all are saying. We had our own languages, and now we have all these people of different languages among us, and so we're trying to learn this.
Mhm.
And now we have those resources. Now we have Google, we have everything at our fingertips. And schools, we can't depend on schools. We were never really able to, schools always did a mild job of teaching history, Black history. I was taught Black history, but it was still not a lot in school. So it's always going to be at home where your child, like I had, all types of tools that I use with my daughter, and it was tests. I had tests for her. She had to write me a book report every week, and there was a test, and she had to leave it on the table, and it was test involved.
Mhm.
And I test my grandchildren as well, because it's important. And so, but to go back so thank you so much for that. So you give us that seasoning. You give us the content and you add that seasoning to it.
Mhm.
Kiki has been a disappointment, I think, to all of us. I think we expected something different, but we based it on the interaction that we saw with her and Melody. And of course, with Melody, it's always going to be a different interaction. You're not going to be a person that's just going to come to her. That's just going to be, how Kiki goes to different people. Her interactions with them are all different.
Mhm.
And so I think we expected this educator side of her that we heard about, and this well-spoken side of her that we saw. And then we saw that she was just like her cousin, fake drama.
She was so disappointed. And see, all of them on that show claim to be businesswomen. When they sit down at the table, nothing intelligent come out their mouth.
Nothing.
It's nothing. And I was comparing them to the ladies on Bell's Collector, y'all. I need to report on that sometime.
No
But I looked
comparison.
at Bell Collector. Now they have drama amongst each other, but they sit down and talk very intellectual.
Right. They're
You remember?
business women.
Yeah, you remember the girl that was the real estate lady and
Oh
then the
yeah.
hair
So
lady.
Gucci. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Shagiti. Now they were mad at each other, but did you see how they expressed their intelligence.
Right.
That's the kind of stuff I want to see. Good drama, intellectual, black women
Yes.
talking intellectual and hashing it out. You didn't got to be all kinds of bees and mother
Yeah, it
effing
was
and
none
all
of
of that.
that. They were on the curb and they weren't so loud. It's kind of like where the lady that they brought in to give the tea. My mom was a person, she's an English teacher, so she's a person where she didn't like all this loudness, and in a public place she, felt you carry yourself a certain way. And so you think about even these ladies at with Atlanta. I mean, they're on a show, but my goodness, are they not embarrassed with the way that they're popping off in a hotel? You're screaming, yelling, using all kinds of MF. And what do you think about the people that may have the rooms down the hall or next? What do you think they're thinking about you? Is
Well,
that
that was
normal?
one of the things the lady at the tea party, see, y'all, we didn't see. She said that Betty and Stormy was just so loud and obnoxious. She said she was embarrassed for them because they were loud, obnoxious, cursing. Production didn't show us all of that was
Right.
going on, but it was pretty bad. And she said that's exactly what she said. Those people heard everything. What about the people in the next room?
Right. It's no thought about that. It's no thought about someone else is having an event here, because it's not like they're shutting everything down and shutting down all business operations because you all are filming. So whatever you give, it's like no consideration. Like, hey, ladies, I know they want us to do this, but we need to do that maybe on a bus. We need to hold ourselves at a higher standard. No thought of it. And so, yeah, so
Mhm.
this Kiki and this all talk, no bite is just, and who's interested in that anyway? And then she talked about Tiffany shopping, that terminology. What does that mean? She said shopping information. Typically, isn't the way I heard people send information to the bloggers so they don't have to shop information?
I bet you know what I'm wondering. Where would Tiffany get it? Who put that in Tiffany's hands if she had it? Now I was right here in Huntsville. I didn't hear it on I didn't hear it on TV. It might have been on TV, the Crime Stopper, but I didn't see it. But I'm wondering, how did Tiffany get all that information in her hands? Who was behind Tiffany, if
Right.
at all that was true? If
Yes.
uh-huh.
I think that's all just made up. And Sheree with the Martell situation, Sheree look, if you noticed her face in that moment with the scene that you showed with Kenya and him, he, he is very aggressive. But Sheree was also very stimulated by his reaction. And as a woman, it's very disgusting that you would see the man that you brought to an event talking to a woman that way that you claim is your friend. And even if you're having a situation with her at that moment, this is still someone that you've had a relationship for several years, worked with for several years, and you
Mhm.
claim that you were a person that has had violence, domestic
Mhm.
DV, and you are so okay with him behaving that way.
Mhm.
And so she seems like she's very stimulated by that type of thing. But you know what? I've always said that Sheree is an old slow sloth. She is. She's like an older version of her, because think about it. Candy tried to tell her in the beginning, or she tried to help her with her business. She didn't want to listen. She said she knew all the answers. Well, seeing that you have been trying to launch this business for 10 years and you've given it, and for people who haven't watched rhoa from the beginning, they don't realize she said that she was launching a high fashion couture, her exact words. She said she was a designer. I'm an exact word person. That's what she said. So I'm expecting designer quality and I'm expecting couture. And she talked about how the other ladies didn't have style. So I'm not expecting no darn jogging suits. I'm gonna be real.
Well, my daughter was there at that covering that, and she said that it was the I don't know his name, but they did have those fashions. It was the guy that clothes that they modeled. She didn't pay him.
Right.
So what happened was that what he did was he didn't allow her to put anything on her site.
Yep.
Nothing.
I
She
don't
would.
blame him.
And you know what? She could have gave that man something. I mean, if she wanted to really boost her career up in that industry, because his stuff was nice. I saw it before it even came out. My daughter was bringing me pictures home
Yes.
of that, and but she just wouldn't pay the man. And then on top of that, he was pissed off because she wouldn't even acknowledge him. You know, like
Right. Exactly.
you know how males say this is Jay Bowling, this by Jay.
Right.
You know, she wouldn't even acknowledge him. She wanted it to be as though she made all this her fashion. Yeah, he pulled a rug from under her, so she had to go and order stuff off the internet and put it up.
Yes. And that was kind of like a last minute thought. And you figure, but and she didn't want to acknowledge him. He had done the work. She didn't even want to say I partnership with this person. But part of it is because she knew she had lied for 10 years saying she was a designer. And she has not gone to any type of has not designed anything.
Have you noticed her and Montel alike when it comes to that business aspect?
Yes.
Sheree has been an OG and has not utilized that platform. And y'all know it was a scenery where my daughter was saying she was mad at got mad as Candace said Candy don't do nothing for her. My daughter said, Mama, Candace went to Sheree and the other girl with the children now. What's her name? The other girl with the children. That her nephew, she raising her nephew. Marlo.
Yeah, Marlo.
Yeah, she went to him and she tried to help him out. She was going to even do a spin-off with him, but they had the nerve to,
Yeah.
yeah, they had the nerve to tell her they wouldn't take
The
that
pay.
money. The money wasn't right. I'm like, who the hell do they think they are? The money ain't
Exactly.
right.
Exactly.
That's what they told her.
Yes.
So she said, forget it then. Yeah.
Yeah, she tried to help him out, and she
Yeah.
tried to. Don Juan tried to help Sheree out, even with her, with the fact, with her launch, but she didn't want to do that.
She don't want to pay nobody. And my God, I was thinking, y'all need to go back and watch that interview because see what's gonna happen. Right, they're gonna speak on it. They gonna be talking about Cherie. They don't appreciate Cherie, and they said that Cherie is too old to act like that. That she should have learned by now. Yeah,
I agree.
yeah,
But I
and
think she really lacks, people have propped her up because of how she came on the show. So people thought she had, some money. But, she had a husband that had money.
yeah, she did. And what you think about Kiki? Do you really feel like Kiki gonna come out and just spill some tea on her cousin and Maso?
No, I don't think Kiki will. And you know what? And honestly, is that what they brought her on there to? I guess I want to understand why did they bring her on the show? Is that their purpose?
I don't know why she on the show. She has no business. She's not married. I don't know. And then when they brought Stormy on the show too, I thought Stormy was gonna enrich the show, but Stormy just made the show go even further on down. I mean, there's already hood, but she in the gutter with hers.
Yeah, I didn't see, when they brought Stormy on, honestly, I know a lot of people thought she was they saw a peek at her house. And I guess that's what we sometimes do culturally is we see that and we get caught in that. And they said, oh, she's interesting. We want to know more about this Stormy
Mhm.
person. But all they had to do was watch an interview of her for 5 minutes and they would have known that she wasn't going to bring anything to the show. She's brought nothing.
None of them. Now, see, they still using Mel They still using Mel. Every episode, they gonna bring Mel name up now.
They are.
Keisha
They gonna bring her
and
up.
Teacher and my soul brings nothing to the show at all. When I say nothing, I mean nothing. I'm tired of seeing about them rocks. I'm tired of seeing the same old thing that we moving. It's just over and over and over. And now she trying to still talk about this marriage stuff, claiming that Tiffany was messing around on Big Lou, and which is dangerous because she's saying the same thing her mama's saying, that who baby is it? That's all she's saying, trying to put out there that Tiffany is having a baby by somebody other than her husband.
And she's such a liar, because did you notice what she said when Marceau came in and he was so excited about him getting into it with a woman? And what she said was, well, Tiffany cheated once. She said once back, but she said it like, back in the day, with the ex-husband. And I thought,
She
okay, is
correct.
this the same person that was in the car? Kind of, and I caught that when she said that. She said Tiffany cheated too once, and she was very careful. She was very deliberate with that wording to say that, because you don't need to say that. Well, she could have just said, well, when she is, married with her ex, but she went to once with, and she said who? And that's not what Marceau came home to talk about. So I thought that was very deliberate that she was bringing that up, and saying that when her and Kiki were just the week before showing in the car, that they were saying something totally different.
I sure like when Dustin called him the Karen, so he was the real Karen.
He really was. And he did mean something different when he said that, because we all know when Marceau says something, he is deliberate. He knows what he's saying. So he thought about what he was saying, and part of it was because of her color as well. He did have another agenda for him saying that. And at the point that he finds himself getting into it with a woman, what has his life come to?
A pregnant woman at that. But do you know, Cecina, as a woman and as his wife, I don't want my husband taking up for somebody else's vagina.
No.
That's all he was taking up for
That was crazy.
about her vagina. And she's sitting up there like, I was like, hold it, you disrespecting me. You want to talk about some other woman's vagina, and to the point where you mad.
Right, mad,
You
good and mad.
I don't know if y'all peeped that. I'm like, as a wife, you don't want to hear your husband talking about nobody else's vagina.
Correct, good and mad. And then keep it in mind, it was no point in him continuing the conversation, because Marceau had said at the table, him and Sheree had never slept together. So since you're talking about someone that this man is saying that they've never even slept together, even as his friend, what is he jumping into? Just crazy. It just shows that they have nothing going on in their lives. And you know what? And I'm kind of upset that Maurice has slid under the radar. He's done nothing. He's added nothing. He's brought nothing. Kimmy is the person. I think she's a natural hard worker. I'm not a Kimmy fan. I've had glimpses where I like her, but from the beginning she's been two-faced. She's came on the show calling Melody bougie, and because she wanted to go to events. And is that your reasoning for that? Now you're going to all these events, so now what are you? And is that the most that you could say? And so I never really cared for her much either. I know they say she keeps it real. I think she keeps it real fake, with respect to things, because even her son, her son Jalen.
Yeah, Jalen.
We know he's not making enough money to buy him a condo. Now let's just be honest.
Mm-hmm.
When they did that whole scene, and would she have invited, if she's really giving a housewarming for her son, are those the people that she would really invite?
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, this young man got his own set of friends. Surely had Wanda there. Wanda started mess in his home. That was awful. I'm like, why would you bring all this old lady at your son's
Right.
performance?
Yeah, he wouldn't have even wanted that because one, she wasn't even on good terms with Wanda. So why would she invite her?
Production. And when I was looking at Dustin, something I didn't like that Dustin said. He was talking about Tiffany, right? Then he said, well, Tiffany kind of got into just a little bit with the guys. And I'm like, a little bit? You don't find that was offensive? He said a little, the guys was a little bit, little bit, he said. And then I'm like, that was offensive. That was a 9-month pregnant woman that they ambushed. I know her mouth was inappropriate, but they ambushed. It was not to be taken lightly as a black woman looking at these two grown men ambushing her. And then my soul was questioning whether she was a human being or not. Oh, he
Right.
really got on there. Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yes, he sure
Yes.
did. What type of human being are you? Yeah, he was just insulting.
Yes, he was. And then too, do you remember when he came, Maso came from Africa, right? And she was sitting at the table. His wife was sitting at the table trying to talk to him. He kept about, shut up. We don't gossip around here. No, we don't gossip. And then I turn around and see him. Then disrespect. I don't know what happened. I see I'm going. Here I go. She don't even know that she was being disrespected.
Yeah,
She didn't.
that's
She
true.
didn't. Uh-huh.
And and it's just the other thing is, we were expecting black excellence from Carlos, but I guess my question is why? When has he ever shown us black excellence? And I know a lot of people, fall back to, he talks about his love and hip hop days, and they were kind of insulted when Andy referred to him not wanting love and hip hop, and I get exactly what he's saying, and because Judge Toller, when she would come on marriage boot camp, she would call him out for that behavior. So she was letting him know your behavior is not appropriate, and so they don't, and so why would we expect more from him, because he has not really brought, I mean, he came into Roa didn't come into him. It's not like he's the creator, so we haven't seen him with any type of black excellence, so I think he just thrives on mess, because they have not shown Tiffany's business, and Tiffany is involved in clinical research trials, and her partner has his PhD. I mean, she has a legitimate business going into diversity, artificial intelligence research and all of that. And you don't hear anything about her business because to him, it's not interesting.
Surprised that about Big Lou. I didn't know Big Lou was out there in the community teaching children. Would you say he had a baseball or what is it, football? Or
Yes, one of those leagues.
all those programs like that for the youth. I did not know that.
Yes. And and in the business that he has that you see Martell going, it looks like a place that's like kind of like in my gym. It's called Parisi, but it looks like one of those places where they train athletes. So, for him, it seems like that would be natural for him to have that type of business. Then he's making money off of that. Then he's in the community, hosting different events. And yeah, when Kiki brought that up, but they never bring up, and they're not people that brag. You could tell they're very
Mhm.
modest people. People could like them or not, but they don't bring any, they're not pretentious.
Mhm.
They seem to be very modest. They're not trying to be showy. They're not, let me put on this kind of designer, this. They just come, they just show up.
All righty, Miss Cecina, thank you for coming up here, keeping me company.
No problem. Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead on.
The last thing I want to say is, I know people kind of, I think we look at reality TV like it's our real lives. And it is a TV show. And what we see, it may not be totally scripted, but there are producers that are in the background telling them what to do and telling them what to say. And that is why they are paid to do that assignment. So when Tiffany was talking to Sheree, Martell and Sheree are not in a real relationship. So therefore, people are trying to compare their friends, their lives to this, what I would do. We're not on TV. We're not reality stars. So we can't compare that. So when Tiffany said that to Sheree, that was all TV entertainment purposes because it's not real. And if she did not say that, what would we have to talk about? Because the rest of them brought zero, and they're still carried into the next episode, still talking about Tiffany, and they probably gonna go to the end of the season still talking about her. And then Sheree has been in the game for 35, 40 years on reality TV. So Sheree should have had a better response. And because she's not quick on her feet, and Nene tried to tell them, hey girl, they think you're boring. She's more of a scripted person. She, reads, she practices in the mirror, and then she does her little, in the background with the producer one-on-one. But in person, she uses other people. She'll bring a friend if you notice, she's done that from the beginning with her friend Tanya, and she did it last season with the person she had to come for, Drew, and then she does it each year. She brings a person that she uses in the background, and you see that same expression she had, like she had with Martell, that stimulated expression that she has to do that. So you know what? I kind of felt that showed exactly who Sheree was when she brought her there. She looked like Yummy the Dummy dealing with Tiffany. Tiffany stayed focused, and Tiffany has not been in the game a long time, but she could not handle that, and she could not defend it because it was a fake relationship, and that's what Candy tried to help her with in the beginning. And every time someone tries to help her, she ends up with pie on her face.
Well, I don't know. I don't guess I think that that goes to show. I wrote that book, The Thug's Passion. That's women who love to date bad guys. That's just who Sheree will. But she gonna move on from Martell. We will see her with another thug because that's what she like.
But we haven't seen her in a real relationship.
No, they can't give you real. Thugs don't give you real relationship. No, they just use you.
But we haven't seen her real life.
Yeah, no, we haven't.
Tell us about your life. Tell us like what it was for you as a struggle being a young mom at 15. Tell us that story. Give us something relatable. Help encourage other people.
Did you see Sheree on Iyanla Fix My Life?
Yes, I did.
Now Iyanla Fix My Life was holding her accountable for her real life.
Yes, she did.
And Sheree got pissed off because Sheree thought she was gonna come on there, and I'm like, well, she must have watched this woman's show. This woman ain't for all this acting. She gonna get to the bottom.
Yes, exactly. She thought she was gonna come on there and like Iyanla was gonna be a fan.
Yeah.
That's not who she is. She held her accountable. She held Bob accountable.
Okay, you guys, I'm gonna get ready to go. Let me holler out all y'all names. Scorpio MZ. Let's see what you're saying, Scorpio. You're saying that's who he and Carlos is. Very proud of his messy credential, but that's not what we are interested in.
Exactly. Scorpio should have brought her cute self on up here with us. I don't know why she didn't. Or Evil Uncovered.
Eve Uncovered said, yes, Mary Keller, the fact that they attacked her like they did was so disrespectful and so far from how a man should carry himself. So you talking about Maso, and what do you think about Big Lou, his response? Do you think that was appropriate response from Big Lou?
I think they cut it. I think it was a fight, and I don't, because remember when they showed Marceau saying who he would have slapped and Big Lou's, they didn't show us any of that. I think they cut a lot of that out because they see our reactions to their violence and all of that.
Okay, ADR says, oh, here comes somebody. Tammy Thomas, as always, say eagles don't fly with. Y'all always make me laugh. Wait a minute. Eagles don't fly with people. Better, just different flight paths and trajectories. JMO male is an eagle. You're right. All right, come on up then, Miss Tammy Thomas.
Hey, Tammy. Hey, Miss Blaxktitanic and succeeding to this is Scorpion Ms. Oh, you
Okay.
changed up on us, honey.
Well, I Scorpion Miss.
Yeah, I didn't want to come up because I just got up not too long ago, so I'm just like listening in the bushes.
Mhm.
But I just wanted to speak to this thing with Carlos. I don't know if anybody knows, but his website has been suspended. His website account has been suspended for some reason. I don't know what was going on. Yeah, and I think he may be in some hot water. I'm not sure, but he's kind of overstepped his bounds because he's not respecting the stars of the other networks, in my opinion.
No, he's not.
And I don't know, I don't see other networks doing what he is doing, all in the name of entertainment, just to have a platform to bring entertainment to people. You are willing to use another network's stars to prop yourself up and to make yourself look like a bona fide producer, but you have not given us anything to be proud of. You're selling entertainment, you're giving us entertainment, but this is not what we signed up for. It's not what we sign up. It's not what we tune in to see. We don't tune in to see the mess. We do like some drama, but what he's doing is selling us lies. And then also we're witnessing abuse at the highest levels. We don't subscribe to that. We are subscribers, we're customers, we're watching what the narrative that he's trying to sell us is not what we are buying into. And this is where we have to speak up as viewers, especially as Black women. You don't want to give us positive Black images. So this is why we are calling this man out, because he is acquiescing and he's supporting dysfunction. And this is what you want us to embrace. And that's not right. It's not right. And that's why we are up in arms, because these people who they're passing off as millionaires, as loving couples, loving families, it's all a facade.
Yeah, I just read what someone said that they are Tisha and Maso are living apart. Allegedly, I just read it somewhere. Oh yeah, here it is. That's wait a minute, let me put it back up. I think it's Patricia Ellis Roberts said that. I just saw, why don't Maso and Tisha talk about their living apart? Well, they really rarely film with each other. There, you see them doing that confession. But if y'all noticed, Tisha was sitting at the table doing a baby shower. He walked in later. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I think that that has been kind of circulating for a while now, that they are really not together. And of course, Big Unk got on her platform and talked about that they are together, but they're not separated. But something's going on. Yeah, because you would know your husband is coming. Like, how she said, oh, he's not feeling Tiffany. You would know, he would have texted you and said, hey, hon, I'm on my way. Exactly. So they're again, they're selling us lies.
Okay, y'all, before I forget, y'all, don't forget those petitions, y'all. They kind of like faded out. We got to be very active. Y'all know all three of them got petitions out. Let's make sure that we keep those petitions up front and alive because I'm so tired of them. I remember if they asked Melody, was that Melody they asked who she would rather see go? And she named the Scots. What was that? Was that Melody? Am I remembering that right, y'all?
I don't remember that.
It was somebody. It must have been somebody else then, but what had said that. But anyway, I want them. It's too many on there. It's too many on
It
that
is too many.
show.
I think she thought they were going to bring something different, and I'm just sickened by it. I'm most sickened by it. And did you all see? So we did talk about Justin and his interview with Carlos. Did you see that, Miss Blaxktitanic, honorable one?
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, let's comment on that. What you think about it, Miss Tammy? You
Yeah.
what you think? Who you Scorpio MZ, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. What you think about that interview?
I think he was very. He kind of handled the whole situation with regards to Martell with kid gloves. Like he was very ginger not to.
Very careful. Yeah, I noticed that too. He sure was careful. Very careful.
Yeah, because it's almost like he was instructed by Carlos to not inflame the situation with his opinion, because Dustin usually comes hard with it. He will give you like the real deal of what we all witnessed as viewers. He's watching as a viewer and he gives it to us like raw 100. He comes with it, but he was real reserved this time. I felt like he wasn't honest. He wasn't. I wanted to scream. I said last night, I wanted to scream, will the real Justin please stand up? Because I felt like he was dishonest. Even when he described Martell. Who is he likable to? No one likes him. Nobody likes him.
He sure did say that. And then he said everybody want to keep seeing my soul in the skies. I'm like, what did he watching the same show? He not watching the same show.
No, I think what we're seeing is the Scott takeover.
Yeah.
I think he was prepped what to say. You know how like you had those meetings in corporate where they prep you on what to say before the meeting?
Yep.
I think he was prepped, and I think he could not bring his authentic self. He told them, I'm trying to keep a show on, man. The people, they talking about me, my characters. I need you.
Absolutely.
All right, you guys, I'm finna go now for real. I've got to go get to my brother his medication. Y'all know, bro.
How is he doing?
Oh, yeah.
He's home, but y'all know he's home, and he was just having back-to-back seizures, causing him to be confused. And it's like being in the house with a 2-year-old child because he's mobile. He's able to walk. If you go outside, he might not know what door to come back to and all of that. So hopefully, I'm hoping that he get his memory back and be alert. Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, he's blessed to have you as
he is.
his caretaker and his sister.
Yeah.
So
and I hope you have some others also helping out using the resources that they have with other caregivers coming in and nurses coming in.
Yeah, we do. They're gonna start tomorrow, home health, and then my sister she can't come in. She could only come if she's sober. She get drunk. She one of them mean drunks.
Yeah,
one of them mean drunks.
She probably need to stay. Yep, just stay on home.
Yeah. When you sober up, you come. She just as sweet as she wants.
Probably sweet as pie.
Yeah,
that's how my brother-in-law.
Yeah, just sweet. I'm like, woo, God, gee, but she been doing better lately. She trying to sober up. I get it. Her husband just passed, and then 2 months later, her grandson, the one that she raised, got murdered. So she drinking a lot. Yeah.
Oh
That
my goodness.
hurts. She's
Oh, bless
handling
her.
it. Yep,
Yeah.
we'll pray for her. But I'm
Yes, we
glad to
will.
hear that your brother is home. We're all
I'm
happy to
glad
hear that.
too. I don't have to get up and run down there to that hospital today. I could just relax.
But
Uh-huh.
definitely
Right.
use those resources because, like my dad, I at first I didn't want to use those resources. You know, it was during COVID, and I was really the only person that was around him a lot, and so I was kind of protective. But it did help out a lot having someone to come in and do that light house cleaning. And then I know last time I had a VA appointment with him, the doctor ordered a nurse to come out twice a week. She asked if we would need that, and then I said yes. Both of us. In fact, my dad surprised me and said yes. And they come out twice a week just to kind of help with the meds and check his blood pressure, and that helps too.
Just give you a light break because sometimes, like last time, I utilized that time to go to the grocery store and stuff like that. When they're here. Yeah. All right,
Exactly.
girl, I'm gone for
Okay.
real this time.
Well,
Thank
thank
you,
you
guys.
God
all.
bless you.
Thank all of
Blessing. Thanks
y'all.
for having us up
Love
here
you
at your
guys.
house.
Yeah,
Nice to be in
thank
your
you.
living room with that beautiful piano.
And
Thank you.
all any content creative, you're here. Thank you for the cash app, the super chat, and most of all, y'all bring me up there. I almost got 9,000 people looking.
I saw
Wow.
that.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
and it make me so proud. Let me tell y'all something. I know that's just a little under 2,000 that really want to learn their Black history.
That's
So
right.
I'm proud of that. When the junk come, I get way. I mean, them views be way up there when junk is coming. Except for I'm arguing with Wanda or something. I can always count on y'all. The under maybe 1,800 of y'all that want to learn the lesson, and that
That's
makes me
right.
proud.
That's right.
Yes.
All right,
We're
bye,
proud.
y'all.
We're proud of you.
Okay, yeah, training at some point. Thank you for being here. All right, you are. Good night. I mean, good evening, good day, whatever,
Yeah.
y'all.
Good day. That's
Have
okay.
enjoy your weekend at Black Titanic and succeeding to and
You
chat.
too.
All
Yeah, I'm gonna
right.
go and make my dad. I'm gonna make my dad some steak today. I made it real nice and tender where he could eat it. I'm gonna make him a little surf and turf today.
That sounds
Yeah.
delicious.
Okay, love you all.
All right.
I'll
Bye
see
bye.
y'all tomorrow. We're doing Juneteenth tomorrow, okay?
Okay,
All
good.
right.
I took
Okay.
that day off from work. I didn't have that day off, but I took it off and the next day.
That's right.
Okay.
There you go.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye.